Right in the middle of downtown Fresno is a house that pays tribute to the Victorian era. In this week's Destination California, we take you inside the Meux Museum. The moment you take one step inside the Meux Museum, you'll travel back over 100 years to the Victorian era. This is the house Dr. Thomas Richard Meux built.
We're excited for them to see what life was like in the 1800s. It wasn't like we have today.
Meux made this Victorian mansion a home for his family in 1888 when they moved to Fresno from Tennessee. For 80 years, the home was occupied by a member of the family. Dr. Meux's daughter, Anne, lived in the house until her death in 1970. A few years later, the home was gifted to the city of Fresno, preserved and restored, then turned into a museum.
So as the homes and the styles fell out of favor by people wanted more modern ranch homes, things of that nature, they just started dwindling down.
But the Meux Hill Museum kept up the true style of the Victorian era in each of the 16 rooms. No part of a wall or ceiling is left undecorated, especially in the dining room. Dinner was the most elaborate meal during that era. It would take 3 hours to complete.
Well, they ate in courses, so everything had its separate thing. You had separate dishes for each courses, you had separate flatware for each course, you had separate glassware.
Proper etiquette was a must in the dining room and the bathroom. Guests were encouraged to use only a square at a time in the water closet, and the toilet paper must hang in the over position. The Meux family enjoyed some of the greatest technology of the Victorian era. That's an Edison phonograph, an early 1900 version of an iPod. Clothing in the 19th century was not purchased on Amazon. Each of the 300 dresses and 75 suits on display in the Meux home were carefully crafted.
Well, back then, you were learning how to make things. If you had lace or trim on your dresses or suits or anything, that had to all be handmade.
Even playing the piano was hard labor. Your knees and feet, instead of your fingers, do most of the work. After touring the Meux home, you'll appreciate how most things are easier today. And for a link to the Meux Home Museum's website that includes prices, hours, and events, just go to our website, yourcentralvalley.com.